So today guys, I'm filming something very special. This is a 2014 Toyota FJ Cruiser. Toyota discontinued the FJ Cruiser here in America in the year 2014, but they discontinued it over there in Japan in the year 2017 with a special edition. So someone traded this vehicle in here at South Dade Toyota, so I took it upon myself to go ahead and film this because this is something different from the channel. So this vehicle was a concept back in the year 2003. Toyota showed this off at the Detroit Auto Show back in 2003. So when Toyota made this FJ Cruiser came to production in the year 2006, they sold 55,225 units, and then later that year in the year 2007 they sold 55,170 units, surpassing Toyota's goal of 40,000 units. But ever since then the FJ Cruiser numbers have dropped due to the fact when this vehicle was introduced, that's when gas prices were at its high. So you guys want pulling this thing around with this 4-liter V6, which only made 239 horsepower at the time. So let's look under the hood of the FJ Cruiser here. This has the company's 4-liter V6. It makes 260 horsepower, 271 foot-pounds of torque. You can tow around 3,500 pounds. If you guys can remember, I actually did a 2020 Toyota 4Runner that sounds about the same powertrain that's in the actual 4Runner. So I want you guys to comment down below if you guys do remember that review, or if you guys haven't watched it, you guys can just check out the link below. I actually like this beautiful extra orange color that Toyota did. They actually did the voodoo blue color as well. This hood, this piece here is not even functional, but it does give the FJ Cruiser more of an aggressive look. Looking at these headlights, they're not going to be full LEDs. Only if you probably do like aftermarket, you probably can have full LEDs. These are a halogen projector with the incandescent turn signal. There's no daytime running light. There's an automatic high beam, but you don't get full LEDs. I like how Toyota has the name spelled out here. I actually like the mesh-like grille with the silver painted plastic here. Looking down here at the lower part of your bumper, there's some front parking sensors. I like the black painted bumper here, and you do get like some skid plates there. So the FJ Cruiser is very capable off-road. So let's look at the side profile of the Toyota FJ Cruiser. So here on the side profile of the FJ Cruiser, look at these tires and wheels. These are a 265/70 width tire. They're wrapped in this 17-inch rim design. These are the same rim setup that you get on the actual Toyota 4Runner. I like the alloy finish here with the multi-spoke design here. My Tesla does have this two-tone roof, which is a white roof, but it looks really nice. When you do get that basket, just like on the 4Runner, to carry additional things just in case the cargo is actually full in the interior. The wheelbase of the FJ Cruiser is 105 inches with an overall length of 183. But let's look at the rear of the Toyota FJ Cruiser. The rear of the FJ Cruiser, look at these taillights. I actually like the design of the taillights. You're going to be a full incandescent setup with the incandescent brake light and incandescent turn signal and an incandescent reverse light. There's your Toyota emblem and badging here. There's a full spare tire in this covering here, but it's in this plastic covering. Looking down here, there's rear parking sensor, your tow hitch. You can tow around 3,500 pounds. There are some blacked painted tow hooks here, your reflectors, which are integrated into your bumper. A single exhaust tip there. You guys are looking, whereas the backup camera is going to be integrated into the actual housing of this spare tire here. When you open up the cargo back here of the FJ Cruiser, it has this barn-like door. Toyota rates the cargo back here at 22 cubic feet of space. When you fold everything down, you get around 66 cubic feet of space. So there's a lot of stuff that you can put just in case there's not enough stuff. Like I mentioned on the side profile, there's a basket on top so you can put additional things. But let's hop into the interior of the FJ Cruiser. So I'm sitting inside the 2014 FJ Cruiser. Looking at this interior, guys, do not expect to see Toyota's latest Intune 3.0 in this vehicle because it's from the year 2014. But shutting the door here, the door sounds nice and solid. The materials can be your hard touch plastic. This aluminum painted door handle here, it is express up, express down only for the driver. Unfortunately, the passenger window does not get that treatment. I'm surprised to see the Toyota didn't make it express up, express down. Your lock controls, and you can lock the windows with the switch of this button here. It's painted in this aluminum style trim here. Your air vents, this dimmer switch, your mirror controls are here. This 3-spoke wheel design. Of course, I'm sure you guys the key fob. It's an old style key here. Whoever had this key last, it kind of put a beating on it, but as you can see, there's your lock and unlock function and a panic button. But to start up the FJ Cruiser, just stick the key into the ignition, put your foot on the brake, and turn it. Sorry that the AC is blowing because it's hot here in Miami. It's around summertime. Looking at this steering wheel, is going to have this 3-spoke wheel design, your volume controls, and your radio preset buttons, which are here. The Toyota emblem, your options to hang up the phone and pick up the phone, your voice command controls are there. This cruise control stock, which is here, your warm wiper stock, your turn signal stock. You have these gauges, which is really nice to read. They're old style gauges. And above me, there's this tray here for additional storage. It's damp, but it's not lined with felt. The upper part of your dashboard here is going to be this hard touch plastic. I like the black painted trim that you get on here. Looking here, there's a compass temperature readout, which tells you the temperature outside in here in Miami is around 88 degrees. I don't know what this is, honestly. You never seen this. I never reviewed a FJ Cruiser. This is my first time ever driving one and filming one, so I'm not sure what this is. I want you guys to comment down below if you guys know what this actually is, because I'm not sure what this is. Would you guys just tell me in the comment section down below. Looking here, there's orange painted trim here, just like on the exterior, with some nice silver-like trim. Of course, like I mentioned, this does not have Toyota's Entune 3.0 system or heads-up display or any of those newer technology. You're not going to find it on the FJ Cruiser. Maybe with adaptive cruise here. It does not have stop and go capabilities. These big switches here for your single zone climate control. You can pick whether you want the airflow to go. There's the passenger airbag to let you know when it's on or off. The dashboard, like I mentioned, is just painted in this black material, and this is going to be hard touch plastic over here as well. There is this big opening, just like on the new 2021 Ford Bronco. So I think Ford may took this big plastic-like idea from the FJ Cruiser. Surprised to see that Toyota didn't put FJ Cruiser here on this part of the dashboard, or put Toyota. I would think it would look really nice if they would put FJ Cruiser. The glove box is damped, but it's not lined with felt. It's a pretty decent size glove box there. Your stability control, your rear locking differential, your 8-track, and this is for that 400-watt plug-in back there in the cargo. You have parking sensors. There's some blank buttons here and there. You can turn this on or off if you guys would like, but I'm gonna leave it off because that beeping sounds really annoying. There's a 12-volt and a USB, and also an auxiliary port. Surprised to see that in the FJ Cruiser, honestly. And this is for your off-roading, and you can take your FJ Cruiser off-road. There's a 4 low, a neutral, a 2 high, and a 4 high. And honestly, it has a nice decent throws. When you put it into the 4 low, it does turn off the traction and the stability control. So you guys are doing a little rock climbing, you can do so. Putting the FJ Cruiser into reverse, the backup camera is going to be up here because Toyota didn't integrate it into the actual head unit here. It just does have a CD player, I forgot to mention that, aux, like I mentioned. So this is a nice styling radio if you wanted to still live in the year 2014. So if you guys don't like a lot of technology, the FJ Cruiser might be a solution to that. But putting it down here into drive, you have a 4, a 3, and then a 2 in a low mode. So it does have a lot of different gears to go through, and this is the 5-speed automatic. So it does sound like the 4Runner to me, and just in an FJ Cruiser underbody here. There's this little tray here, a cup holder, and also a traditional handbrake, which I kind of noticed at some points it is a little hard to put down. The seats have this nice cloth to them. I think it's called a premium cloth. There's this armrest here. You can just pull this little part down, and it does lock at a certain angle. Into unlock it, you just have to just recline it back up. It doesn't stay midway. You have to put up just a little bit, but as you guys can see, my arm is at a nice angle. I can reach the actual steering wheel here. And above me, there's no panoramic sunroof or sunroof. Incandescent lighting throughout the whole entire cabin. You have your visor here. Shout out to the scrape pipes. See if it is going to pass the visor test or not, and it doesn't. That's why Toyota gives you this extra visor there, so you can block out the sun. You can flip that back up and close that back. But let's hop into the back seat of the FJ Cruiser. So of course I already did the side profile already, guys, but you guys are looking at how do I get into the back seat of the FJ Cruiser. You guys are just going to open the driver door here. It's going to open nice and full. There's this little lever here that you can pull, and the door will open. Toyota says you get around 90 degrees of angle to get in and out of this vehicle. There's these mounted steps here to get inside the vehicle. But I'm going to crawl in on this side so you guys can see. Hopefully it's not too dark. I can't really see the actual lighting on the camera. The materials back here are really nice. You can actually lift these seats up and fold the headrest down here. Just press this button, just like in the actual 4Runner that I showed you guys, so you guys can have a little storage. It doesn't fold completely into the actual low floor height it does on the actual 4Runner. but it does give you a little bit more cargo in the back there. But the material is that cloth-like material, which feels really nice. There's no center armrest here to provide cup holders, and Toyota puts them in the actual door. The materials back here can be hard to plastic. There's no panoramic sunroof or nothing. There's some incandescent lighting, additional storage here. The floor back here is nice and flat. You can definitely fit 3 full-size adults. Toyota rates the legroom back here at 31.6 inches of legroom. But let's take the FJ Cruiser out and see how it performs with that 4-liter V6. Starting off in the 2014 FJ Cruiser. This is my first time driving one of these, so I know my uncle girlfriend at the time, I think she had purchased one. It was in a bright yellow exterior color, so you know, this is like the Hummer of Japanese. You can say you can take this thing off-roading, mud trailing, you can do whatever you like because it's capable. It has an off-road heritage because it gets the same underpinnings as the Toyota Land Cruiser, so it's very capable of off-roading if you guys want to take it off-roading. With this being a 2014 model, this does not have Toyota's technology. It doesn't have Toyota Safety Sense 2.0. It does have adaptive cruise control, no emergency braking, no blind spot monitoring. Back then in the year 2014, Toyota wasn't doing technology like that. The materials in here can be hard touch plastic. Maybe you go for like an upper trim level FJ Cruiser, you might find a little bit more nicer materials, but this is the base FJ Cruiser here. This windshield is upright. You do get 3, yes, I just said 3, you do get 3 wind wiper here. When you shoot water in the window, there are actually 3 windshield wipers, so it's kind of new to me, even though I never honestly seen anything like this before. I remember growing up, I didn't get in their vehicle when my uncle's girlfriend bought one, but when she brought one. But this has the same powertrain that I'm thinking from the actual Toyota 4Runner. It sounds exactly the same. But I'm gonna do a slight acceleration run. So this makes 260 horsepower and 271 pound-feet of torque, and this weighs around 40, give or take 4,400 pounds. You can tow around 3,500 pounds, so it's capable of towing. I like the stern wheels, this 3-spoke wheel design. This vehicle is really big. It's really hard to pilot on these small, narrow roads here on this back road that I normally take these Toyota products on the test drive. I find it's too big to stay in a straight path, so I have to kind of like waddle the steering wheel back and forth. The seats in here are comfortable. I like that you do get this armrest here that does recline up and down. You put it, it's gonna do a like click every so often, so that lets you know that you locked it in a position. The visors in here, they do move back and forth, but unfortunately Toyota gives you the spare visor so you can have this big visor effect because the window is so large. Shout out to the scrape pipes. It doesn't slide. But driving the FJ Cruiser, it's really big, it's bulky. The steering is very playful. It does have a wishbone front suspension. You get coil springs in the front and in the rear. You can take this thing off-roading. Toyota does give you a skid plate. Mind you, this is like a brick going through air. Fuel economy is not the best. I'm gonna put the fuel economy numbers down in the actual description box below because I don't know the actual fuel economy numbers. I'm thinking it's probably right on par with the Toyota 4Runner because they weigh about the same. But driving this vehicle, it feels like I'm driving a big old brick. I can hear some wind noise over on my right hand shoulder here, so there is a little wind noise that does kind of intrude into the cabin. There's no sunroof above me or no panoramic sunroofs. Like I mentioned, Toyota wasn't doing panoramic sunroof on their older model vehicles. Of course, the sunroof, but just driving this thing at low speeds, it cruised just fine. Mind you, its name is FJ Cruiser. Let's talk about the history really quick. This was a concept car back in the year 2003. Toyota didn't make it into production until the year 2006. They sold around 255 units. And then in the year 2007, they sold 55,170 units. So it kind of surprised Toyota that they were selling so good because it surpassed the company's goal of 40,000 units for that first year alone. So they end up selling 100,000 plus units. So that kind of surprised Toyota. But then America, the economy dropped and gas prices went on the rise. And then of course you have this 4-liter that you're pushing around. That's a V6. It only had like 239 horsepower at the time, or 260 horsepower at the time, which is the same powertrain. But that was a gas guzzling V6. This vehicle weighs around 4,300 pounds, give or take. Visibility in here is really good. Visibility here from these mirrors. There's no blind spot monitoring, no emergency braking, none of that standard technology. You guys can see how far technology has came in the last few years. So I'm really surprised by this interior. It holds up really well. Whoever had this car, they did a really good job of keeping the interior up to par. But put my foot down. You guys can hear the wind, this thing just cutting through the wind. So guys, a brick on wheels. And 0 to 60 maybe in like at the high 8 to 9 second range. I'm not gonna even try that 0 to 60 because it's gonna take a while. There's no automatic start stop, so you're gonna keep putting fuel in this big old guzzling V6 of an engine. This does have the 5-speed automatic transmission. So overall, I'm really impressed of how technology has changed. The FJ Cruiser does ride really good. It cruises along at low speeds. Maybe you get up to highway speeds, you're gonna hear a lot of fitting, maybe from your right side, because that's where I'm hearing a lot from. And the windows are rolled up, so I'm not sure why I hear wind noise coming from the right side of this vehicle. But let's talk about pricing. After spending time with the 2014 FJ Cruiser, this vehicle holds its value extremely well. So I'm gonna tell you guys the pricing for this vehicle back in the year 2014. So starting price for the FJ Cruiser was $28,860. It does have some optional equipment, which rolls in that VP package, which is around $3,100, and also that first package, which was around $1,500. So my Tesla stickers for $34,435. If you guys are looking to purchase this FJ Cruiser, you guys can call South Dade Toyota and ask for Wilford, or you guys can check out their inventory. I'm not sure how much the dealership is stickering this FJ Cruiser for, but I know this vehicle holds its value extremely well. Even with a high mileage FJ Cruiser, they hold their value very well, because it's Toyota, and Toyota are known for their value extremely well. But I'd like to give a special thanks to Wilford for providing me with the FJ Cruiser. If you're in the market for a 2014 FJ Cruiser, you guys can either call South Dade Toyota or check out the inventory and ask for Wilford. And this is my full overview on the 2014 FJ Cruiser. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at Drive1Reviews, and please keep subscribing to my YouTube channel. I'll catch you all in the next video.